Adopting an open course is easy and has many benefits, not just for students, but also for faculty. Now, what are some of those concerns that faculty might have about OER, and how would you address those concerns?
One of the most important questions is whether it is indeed zero cost. What happened with my specific course that I implemented was we went from $120 to $0. And we offer the same content and the same abilities to faculty.
Yeah, it's definitely been a learning experience, and maybe that's been part of the success as well. When I started off, I collaborated with a faculty member who taught at College of the Redwoods in Northern California, where we collaborated on putting a class together using an open textbook. Our classes weren't exactly the same, but we did have a lot of common elements for the project of putting things together.
OER benefits us in a number of ways. One thing that we did find in the past is that decreasing number of students were able to afford their textbooks. And when that was the case, obviously that had a very negative effect upon their own learning, but also upon the way that the faculty were able to carry out their own responsibilities. The second thing that I think is very important is that when we look at the learners of today, particularly the traditionally aged students, those students are much more comfortable in an electronic, digital environment and are looking for something that goes beyond the written page.
My main concern was how easy it would be and how long it would take. When I started, it was a little while back, so material was getting developed as we were proceeding into the project. I had to gather material from a lot of different places in order to get where I want to be right now. But at this stage, the adoption and even the development of the courses is extremely easy. It made my job easier. I didn't have to develop the whole course myself. Collaboration meant that somebody was doing part of the course and somebody else was doing another part of the course, and that expedited the process. With open educational resources, you become the owner of your content.
I think one of the top concerns is what is the quality of this? People assume that, oh, it's low cost or free, it must not be as good. And that's not necessarily the case. When we actually surveyed students and asked them, after the first phase of the project, what did you think of these materials? Did you like them? Were they worse, just as good, or better than materials that you've used in the past? Most students have said they were just as good, if not better, than course materials that they've used.
How does an instructor transition to OER?
They definitely want to contact their department or program chair. Again, there might be certain requirements for a book that everyone in the department has to use. And I guess a way around that could be if you're required to use a book, certainly have that book available for your students, but you could always supplement your materials with this. I found, at least where I work, if the administration is supportive or on board with what you're doing, chances are things are going to run more smoothly.
And we found here that fewer students were investing in their own education by buying books. They found it prohibitively expensive, and so they were not getting the good out of their courses as they should. That's an important trend that I think is going to continue. Another is to take a look at the student body that's in front of us right now and recognize that they learn in a way that is different from the way that we learn.
What do other faculty think of OER courses?
The faculty in my department realized that, first of all, the sections that offer open educational resources are the ones that fill up first, so they have become very popular. Second concern that faculty has is that when they offer a section with a commercial product, they always have a couple of students who cannot afford the textbook. They will either fall behind or they will ask for a section that offers open educational resources.
So there definitely is a buzz about it. I think people realize that this could be certainly as a trend, and education is changing how we view access to materials and access to knowledge. I've definitely seen an interest in a variety of disciplines around using open educational resources.
Where do you turn for support?
One is faculty developers like me and all the other faculty that have worked in the Kaleidoscope grant and have developed courses. The staff that works for Lumen Learning are actually previous faculty who have developed courses themselves. And obviously the Kaleidoscope administration and all the staff are very knowledgeable, they are networked, they have resources available, and they are very prompt in responding.
As you can see, adopting an open course is very easy and has many benefits. What are you waiting for? Let's get started.